Hey hey, Seconds per Frame here with another episode of Vampire Survivors Random Item Runs. I wanted to try something today, which is let's bump up Curse to max again and give Poppea another shot, as I believe her item is quite good for, the fast coming waves starting off with, as would be Garlic with Poe. And I'm going to go for Green Acres again. Let me just check here. So there's no items on this map, alright. But X right away, alright. So we have 2 items going up. Ebony Wings, alright. Now, if you haven't seen one of my newer observation YouTube videos, I talked about, how I now got better internet, so I can now bump up my video quality a little through, higher quality recording and in the presets, and also a way higher bitrate as well. So, fast moving stuff should now look a little better, even though it's still downscaled to 27p at 30 FPS, which, I experimented about that. I couldn't do anything about it, Just increasing file size is good enough, but if I change anything in relation to that, I'm going to get killed. Or rather, my what am I talking about? My CPU is getting smoked. It can't handle it. The audio will stay the same, but I will miss too many frames, so it basically will result in a slideshow for you. So yeah, still have to hold back on that. Yeah, look at how much shit we can kill though with Song of Mana, even just at level 2. Also X does help, but now it all comes down to if we will manage to get an evolution or not quite quickly. Second bird would also be nice, just because it's not a bad evolution in any sense of the word. It's actually one of the stronger items, although I believe this item here is quite ridiculous. Also, I wanted to try out this map even if we do manage to fail, just because, every one of the new enemies now also show up on this map. I don't know, I'm not sure about the map features, which should show up on other maps, or this map in particular, I don't know. Maybe they meant by boss mechanics, because some come with those shooty snakes, And maybe we'll see our, Dragon cock fairies again. Dragon fairy cocks. I don't know. I can't remember my own words anytime. So we don't have any items right now, which hurts, but the enemies are still of the weaker variety, so we should hold our own quite well. Let's freeze here. I'm hoping to kill this boss as quickly as possible. Just to maybe get a chest early to kickstart our items a little bit. Song of Mana, let's go. And even though with this character we don't get more projectiles, we still will, of course, get higher and higher duration, which should scale quite nicely. We're all almost maxed on that item. If we do manage to get Scalomaniac, this run would be truly magical. and the ultimate test for how powerful it is, you know, maxed out curse, at least for this character, plus, you know, this weapon's damage should still work out quite nice. I mean, it's quite powerful already, and it, you know, you have to get Scalomaniac, so that should tell you anything about it. Also, I haven't played since the patch with curse enabled, through power-ups, I mean. Alright, gimme Candelabra though, well, my Ebony Wing, I guess. Yeah, I'd also like to see if my laptop can actually handle the game with a higher, you know, movement speed, like this one here. Oh yeah, by the way, you know, NFTs, the damage item I just picked up, the Flame, does have a longer duration on this character, so... there is that. But yeah, looks like we're melting dudes, you know, at least until something stronger shows up. Which will happen at some point. Also the, I guess the requirement to hit level 10 before you may be able to evolve his gun, I believe. I've seen people had evolution after, you know, a couple of minutes even. But yeah, we'll would like to see how, you know, the recording looks after this one is done with higher bitrate. If you want to know exactly, I bumped that up from the low amount of 1500 bitrate to 10,000 right now for, you know, prolonged testing, because as I was talking about in the observation duty video, which I'm sorry about if you have been waiting for more Vampire Survivors content. I just had to take a break from this game and play something else again. And I've only been doing test record videos 1 minute a pop, because from there on, you know, you can scale it up, calculate how much, you know, you get per whatever video length you want, because if you have the file size of 1 minute, that relates of course to, you know, each minute after that, on average at least. Sometimes there's a little, you know, little wonkiness with that going on, just because of depending on, you know, what your device actually has to capture, you know. I mean, if there's less stuff going on, like recording your screen, it's not the same as recording a game, obviously. And recording a window, as I have to do with this game, instead of, you know, losing the game capture which hooks into the game directly, is also a different thing. But anyway, you know, 1 minute is not indicative enough for, you know, overall quality. It does, you know, give you a decent point of calculation to see how long a video will vary in file size, but quality is a whole different beast, because at the half point of my 1080p videos, you know, it just got super choppy as too many frames were dropped, basically half or more, you know, so it looked like a slideshow more than which I was talking over, and you couldn't even see what I was talking about half of the time, so that's no good. So I had to sadly revert back to 27p at 30 FPS. Otherwise I would have loved to, you know. And the file size wasn't even that bad, you know. Basically the same. Most quality stuff comes down to, you know, quality presets and bitrate actually. So it's not that bad, but yeah, my CPU and in part also my GPU just can't keep up with that. And I wasn't even recording something fast moving like Vampire Survivors, where of course, you know, game performance also directly results in worse recording performance, you know, as they share resources more heavily. I played only Observation Duty, you know, which is not the highest requirement game out there. So yeah, kind of sad, but Oh well, it will happen in the next couple of months, I believe, where we'll get half-decent hardware. I just wish to get 1080p videos out there, you know, just so there isn't any more downscaling going on. Man, we only managed to get Clover here, that's quite sad. I mean, we're doing quite decent damage, nonetheless, you know. Did get a little hairy there, but yeah, stronger waves are only now getting in here. So I don't know how we will fare against them. I guess not too well. Killing them is, yeah, you gotta have an evolution, I guess. God damn it. And we still have a revive going on, but I don't think we can manage for that long. Chicken saved our ass there. More Clover, god damn it. Give me some goddamn evolutions. Well, I guess maxing out our weapons will result in more items. You know, now getting cross would be quite nice, as we already have the Clover going on for the evolution. What else do we want to see? Of course, now this wave is also quite nice. What else do we want to see? Oh yeah, Candelabrador for X evolution, Attractor for, you know, Labora, which is Santa Waters evolution, and well, Pichon for Vandalier fusion, but to be honest, not right now. It's we need to get strong as quickly as possible. Spinach would help out as well, of course, but I'd rather have a more complete AoE option, King's Bible, you know, which would be quite nice on its own, because we have a ridiculous duration with this character. So, or rather, cooldown, I'm not quite sure. I believe it's just duration. At least we're, you know, now fighting against Firewand, alright, against a wave which should be easy to kill. As long as we're somewhat careful, I guess. God damn it. They're too fast though, you know, so we gotta have more defenses going on, I guess. But the big game probably forces us into now getting level 8 Firewand with nothing else going on. Which does decent damage, but it won't keep us alive, so I wouldn't even be sad for some armor right now. Yeah, maybe they changed something around again, but sometimes it feels you only get weapons every level up with random item runs, but sometimes that changes up again. I'm not sure, man. I don't even know. It's hard to do research on a game which, you know, there's not many options, and it's not well, many information has not been, you know, made public or been scoured through, you know, checking your source code. There's some stuff, of course, discovered by some interested parties, but other than that, you know, this game definitely can use more direct information, you know. Gotta get those numbers, you know. Do we keep the chest for an evolution? I don't know, man. Just get the chest. Yeah. The faster we get that item out of the way, the better, I guess. I guess well, I will do nicely, I guess, at least a little better if I'm staying with the center circles, which do tons of damage, of course. Fire wand, alright, alright. How about, you know, some bone, some roam tracer? That would be fine as well. Man, curse, you know, it's quite ridiculous. Still the death, you know, they called it out in the last patch, you know, just, there you go, cross, nice, nice, nice. They said, you know, it's just a challenge thing and not balanced at all, so feel free to drop it, you know, if you're having problems. Which I did, you know, to check out the new content at least. Now this one I'm going to keep as, you know, pushing hard for cross levels, I do hope. Or maybe the game now switches its tactics and, you know, shows me the finger. But yeah, even bosses coming at you with, god damn it, Mach 10 is quite unsettling actually. Well, we're mixed on weapons anyway, so, you know. But at least we got one evolution going. God damn it, no! They've been pushing them directly inside of me and I can't get away, man. Cannot get away. Ah. No, this sucks. But let me check here. We've been going for 16 minutes. So why not do it again? But this time I'm going to go something more different, I guess. I've been playing this character on and on and on. So I would like to get something going. Let's go Dommario and let's go with library for a change again. Also the Green Reaper may now show up on different maps, I believe. Yeah, wings on old man, come on. That's actually not that bad, but it won't be enough with the enemy speeds, you know. Getting cursed to size is actually quite ridiculous. Quite so. But we should manage to stay alive for a lot longer once we get a couple of more Bible levels going. Which, you know, we don't have any control over, but I'm doing my best here, right? It's just such a pain. He's so freaking slow. So slow. More wings, I guess I get what I've asked for, you know. Getting a little quicker with this old man, but I don't know if it's enough. But Bible is getting there, you know, starting to mow. And the nice thing about this character is, even if you do not manage to get even if you don't manage to get Vespers going, we're still going to have King's Bible, you know, online 100% of the time because of his passive. Even more wings. No, it's already getting there, to be honest. Come on. There you go, even more Bible, nice. At least should keep those early enemies at bay, which will result in us leveling faster, getting us a higher chance to survive into the late game as well. I guess some characters do work with curse, some don't, you know. I haven't lost a random item run with Yatta before. Though characters like Llama are quite hard though. Needs some amount of AoE going on at the start there. Actually, let's check the map here. Yeah, you see, this one is... the tome is quite a ways off in comparison, but now we can actually see how far we are away. And I was totally wrong, I guess. It's not affected by luck at all. Just, you know, just have to walk. Always felt that way, you know, because we couldn't actually see the differences in, you know, how far away they are. And now knowing that Stormax is quicker to find, or faster rather, which well, it does make sense, you know. There's an achievement tied to that and all, and you have to unlock the item this way. Lawn mowing dudes. Quite a decent selection of items, though, I gotta say. I'm not going to pick up anything from this map, though. It's I consider cheating with this kind of run. If this is one of the, you know, first ones you haven't seen. I haven't talked about that before. And as always, once you max out on items, you know, picking between gold and chicken, I consider okay picking again then. It's not an item choice that is random, so... yeah, Bible doing God's work again. I mean, it's to be expected, right? It's the Bible, but... well, let's not get into that. So yeah, having better internet definitely is a blessing, though, gotta say. You know, overall, easier to share multiple devices on the same connection, and working from home, you know, with sucky upload speed is kind of ridiculous, you know. I basically couldn't properly do meetings. Gotta have a couple of embeds going on, you know, uploading and downloading stuff, especially, you know, if everyone has their camera on, which is the usual. Spinach does help out a lot, gotta say. Well, this feels more like it, right? We're quite safe. At least until now. Whip as well, alright. Not a bad item to have. We only managed to get a Hollow Heart, then we will be golden. As this one will sustain us throughout most of the run. You know, it's not an item which allows you to stay right in a group of monsters for ages, you know, but taking damage every once in a while is a non-issue then, at least. Oh, shit, fuck. Sorry about that. I'm so clumsy sometimes, I just knocked over the microphone. That should be obvious, right? But I was trying to reach my flask. I gotta get a sip of water in here. That's the best part about this game, you know, it's you can play it with one hand, and I only know one kind of game genre which you usually can play with one hand, which I don't play myself, to be honest. But you learn stuff, you know, over time. think about that, what you want, I don't care. That's crisp. Cold, plain water. One of the best things on this planet. Something I would consider the drinks for adults. The true adult drink. I've not been drinking enough water for, you know, many years in my youth. Up until I was about maybe 17, 18, something about that. Something about there, yeah. And then just tried it out and never went back to anything else. Of course I drink other stuff, you know. A soda pop every once in a while. Nice cold glass of Coke in the summer especially, you know, with a slice of lemon. Always a nice treat, but yeah, that's about it. It's a treat, you know, and if you're not drinking that stuff daily, it is something to cherish instead of something to fear, you know, getting sick from all the sugar you're getting in your diet. So I would rather have that experience than, you know, drinking it on the regular. Although I gotta say, you know, beer is something I could drink all day, every day, forever. But that'd probably kill me too rather quickly, but I just like the taste so much. Also a nice little buzz doesn't... It's also a nice addition, let's say. Man, never managed to knock over my mic. But was bound to happen at some point, I gotta tell you. If you could see my setup, you would probably laugh. It looks like something you would expect out of someone from a third world country or something. But you know, had to apply some life hacks just to make the best use out of the hardware I got currently. And I'm saving up, you know, truly am. Still have to focus on studies and all that right now. So, you know, I don't have the time to spend much money. Anyway, but, well, you probably know the problem, you know, can't also not save too much because, you know, there's always expenses and, well, there hasn't been a month in my life since I've started working where there wasn't some unexpected expense, to be honest. You know, there's always something like, oh, you need a new fridge, or, you know, you need a new pan, and coffee has run out again, you know, which is actually one of the more expensive expenditures, you know, especially, you know, since I'm working from home, at least until the 20th of March at the earliest, when, you know, regulations change again. But yeah, stupid shit like that, you know, or you gotta get some lubricant, you know, because the door has been creaking for a while, and, you know, shit like that, you know. It's always a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, you know, a bigger expenditure every now and again, but there's always something, at least something small. I mean, coffee, alright, you can, you know, can debate about if that is just a usual expenditure or something out of the ordinary, but yeah, there's always something, man. Every time I start to save up, you know, at the end of the year I manage to save up enough for a nice vacation, you know, and a little spending money on top of that, and keep up with new clothing and all that. But other than that, I don't know. And it's quite alright, but you know, some bigger appliances, you know, like a fridge or an oven or something like that is, or you know, new computer hardware for that matter is something out of reach most of the time. I know, you know, the computer would do well for me for years on end, and vacation doesn't, but I would rather spend that on a nice vacation, you know, just to get out of the country for some time of the year at least, just to, you know, totally shut your brain off, you know. Otherwise, I don't know, same country vacations aren't the same, you know, and I'm not living in a country that's big enough where, you know, changing states or something like that would do that much, you know. Even going to countries like, I don't know, let's say the Netherlands or Belgium or something like that, France, you know, would have to be something like Spain or something where it's a little more foreign than usual, you know. Otherwise it's just the same shit in a different language, to be honest, you know. That's, of course, oh, Song of Mana we got. Well, that's nice. Of course, you know, they're different enough cultures, you know, to be fair, right? But like if you look around, you know, from the architecture and how people behave and customs and all that, it's not that far off, you know. It's just not. You may not understand the people that well, or not at all in my case, you know, if I were to go to France or something, but yeah, just walking around there, you know, looking around, it's same old European stuff, which I have seen a million times, although in a different configuration, you know. Which is even the case for, you know, countries like Greece, you know, especially if you've been to some of the islands, you know, there's also, you know, castles and fortresses which have been built by the French and English back then, you know, to defend against, well, everything even further east and something like that, you know, the Turks and all that back in the day, or the Ottomans. I'm not that well versed in history, to be honest, but yeah, stuff like that, right? And and you look around, you're one of those islands, but it just looks the same as, you know, back home. At least in some parts, it's just weird like that, you know. Because Europeans, right? That's not to say that, especially like countries like Greece, you know, there's enough stuff that's totally different, you know. And the people there are way different as well. So, or not way different, but they're more laid back in a sense. You know, not lazy, I mean, but well, I'm not going to say they take it easy, that's not what I mean, but you know what I mean? It's, you have to adjust your expectations a little, you know. It's warm, you know, it's always warm, and that tends to mellow people out a little, you know. At least with personal stuff. I can't speak for, you know, their work ethic and all that, and I don't really care, you know. Let them do what they want to do. I would like to be lazy most of the time if I'm able to anyway, so who am I to judge? But yeah, just personal stuff, you know. If you're talking about you're meeting up in the evening, then that's a window of a couple of hours. You know, that's the experience I have made, you know. These, you know, you have to be right on the dot, you know, going there early so you appear to be on point and all that. That's it's not something I've run into, you know. And that's okay. They stand by their word, of course. But yeah, enough people generalizing, I guess. Back to the game again. So we don't have any item which will result in an evolution, but we got some powerful items nonetheless, you know. Lancet does help out immensely. Song of Mana as well. I haven't played a different character than Poppea since I've unlocked her, although I did a video about, you know, unlocking Song of Mana which is what is meant by the title, basically. You know, getting its evolution, going for the achievement, and unlocking the item in general by staying alive with her, just so we can get it on other characters. And now that we are playing a different character, for once, yeah, we managed to get that as one of our last items. Wings doesn't do anything for us at this point anymore. It's just it helped a little out at the beginning, I guess, maybe, but right now, you know, we're safe enough, even though he could also move slow and the effect would be the same, you know. We're not dodging enemies as much as, you know, collecting experience as fast as possible, and maybe in that regard it does help, I don't know. But yeah, Song of Mana is huge for damage, at least, and Bible will keep us safe forever and ever, so... Armor, yeah, also waste this late in the game. I would rather have, you know, some evolution. Like, give me Scalomaniac, please, you know, and then I'm happy, and then we have one of the most powerful weapons there is, so that should be fine as well. Other than that, I don't really care about the other evolutions. Vesper's doesn't keep us any more safe than others. Upgrading Cross, also not that needed, although powerful enough. Alright, Candelabra though, this more AoE range is also quite nice. Yeah, with evolution, Wand as well. It's not going to change the run, you know. Not at all, but well, Heaven's Sword maybe just for a little bit more knockback, you know, just to stay a little extra safe. But yeah, what I wished to see was Scalomaniac for the Song of Mana evolution, but oh well, it's not gonna happen. No evolutions at all, but I guess this shows that you could still probably win a run like this. I mean, damage and safety wise we should be fine. So now it's just a matter of time. I'm not doing stupid shit. Also there's 3 more levels for Candelabra. It gives a little bit more space. Let's pick up this orb though. I also like how Song of Mana, once it gets maxed and bigger, it more and more resembles a giant disco ball. Well, there you go. That basically mixes out with everything. Level 65, alright. And now it's just a waiting game. I've just been thinking, you know, stuff. Guess I've been a little too quiet right now. Ah yeah, I'm still here though. Don't fret. Or maybe you find it better that way. I don't know. There you go. What? He has a little hat on now? Or did you always? Let's kill him. Like this. Goodbye. Levels are not going to do much for us anymore, do they? So maybe let's just stand here, because more levels only increases the difficulty. And I'm beat, you know. The week isn't even half over, or well, it's exactly half over, but anyway, everyday life is kind of tiring right now, gotta say. More money would help. Most definitely will make some things easier, you know. The time I could save, you know, doing household chores, grocery stopping, cooking, you know, if I could just pay a couple hundred to have that done for me, I'd be very glad, but I guess it would be more expensive than that. For that price, you know, you can get semi-regular cleaning done, I guess. Wouldn't want to underpay anyone I would employ for that though. That's worth more than minimum wage in my book. I've done work like this before, not professionally or not on the regular, but often enough that I know how hard it can actually be, especially, you know, working for one of those firms where, you know, they basically have to do as much work as possible in the least amount of time. It's ridiculous. Like, do you really expect those women especially, you know, to only have a couple of minutes for, let's say, they're working in a hospital, right? And I've talked to them, you know, my aunt did this for many years, you know. She had her own team, and you know, the new regulation and all that hit, and they basically had only a couple of minutes for each hospital room. Do you really think that's a job well done for something that is supposed to be sterile, you know? I don't think so. You know, that there's a reason why in operating rooms they sometimes use UV robots, you know, which drive in there and radiate the whole room full of UV radiation to, you know, kill any germs, because of course, you know, an operating room has to be as sterile as possible, otherwise you would get an infection just from, you know, particles flying in the air. And yeah, now compare it to, you know, a hospital bed where, you know, people are lying in their own blood for days and weeks on end. It's quite a problem. I'm not going to say that, you know, hospital rooms are dirty or something like that, but I guess they could be cleaner. You know, it's not the obvious stuff. You know, that's fine. You know, it's not dusty or, you know, disgusting, but yeah, no, a couple minutes extra spent on certain areas would definitely help out, in my opinion. But yeah, anyways, you know, just getting rid of cleaning duties and something like that would help out. That's why we got a robot vacuum in the first place, you know. Not the cheapest option, but the labor you save on for yourself, you know, the time you save, basically. It's well worth it, but, well, kinda sucks if you have a house with multiple floors, you know. There you have to either pick that thing up and put it somewhere else, which defeats the point, you know, or you have to have one cleaning unit for each floor, basically. As they can't do stairs yet. Maybe at some point, you know, but I wouldn't think that they ever will. Not in the form they are now. You basically would have to have something like, you know, those robot dogs, right? Those from whatchamacallit Electronics, you know the company. Those are actually quite interesting, you know, because they get used in some, you know, far off places and workstations. Like I've seen something about it. What was it? It was basically a water plant, right? It's a huge complex, you know, kilometers in end, you know, and they have to do multiple inspections throughout the day. Oh, well, let's get back to that once I've dealt with him. I'm not going to want to die here. But yeah, come on. Oh. Yeah, chess, whatever, come on. Just let me be in peace, you know, just die. Please. He's quite tough and our damage isn't quite as high. But we will endure. I'm not so worried about walking into regular enemies, but this one does hurt quite a lot. There you go. Well, Boston Dynamics. Yeah, that's what the company is called. Not electronics something. Alright, Boston Dynamics. Well, anyway, huge plant, kilometers at end. You know, daily inspections. I believe multiple times a day, and you know they have to basically ship people out there. You know, they're not living right there. You know, so it's just too far. You know, it's multiple hours drive, and you know, you're paying something for someone for, you know, basically just doing the inspections, then driving back home again, and where they then can turn around again to do the same thing again. So this robot dog goes around to certain areas, takes a picture, and you know, also photographs stuff if there's something, you know, in the way where it can't reach suddenly, or if something has changed. You know, you never know. But yeah, the interesting part about this dog is also able to walk upstairs, right? So you have to would have to have something like that to, you know, make it into a cleaning unit. Although, you know, with this kind of hardware, that would be one hell of a expensive vacuum, though. I gotta say. I mean, in this case, it's totally worth it. You know, it checks critical infrastructure, right? Water is important, of course, or rather, you know, the water is important, but you know, the energy generates through turbines is even more important. But yeah, so in this case, someone can do it remote, but you know, if they somehow manage to build the stair building part onto a, you know, vacuum, it would be something to see. Or could still be feasibly expensive, you know. Those robot vacuums are not the cheapest things in the world, but you know, it's just the time you save. That's basically what it came down to for us, you know. It's a couple $100, but it's money well spent. Over the last 2 years, I've spent, or rather, I saved many days just vacuuming over and over again. And also, this thing can run as many times as we need, you know. And it's great with pets as well, gotta say. You know, with 2 cats, you basically have to vacuum every day. Otherwise, you know, there's not dust mice lying around, but dust elephants, you know, combined with hair, it gets even worse. And one of our cats is quite long-haired, even though they're both sisters. One is of a slightly different breed genetically, I guess. I guess it takes more after the father than their mother. So they look quite different as cats go. But yeah, you know, and if you have a dog, small or huge, you know, it does definitely help out to have that done, you know, while you're gone. And that's the greatest part about it, you know. You come back home, your flat is clean, your house is clean, you know, it's done automatically, and you just have to, you know, clean the bin every couple, you know, scheduled runs. You have to clean their brushes and all that as well, but that's just you know, 1 minute of your time for a little maintenance every once in a while, and it's great. Also, we get the newest model for Christmas, so it can also mop your floors, you know, clean it with a little built-in water tank and a cloth, which is also nice. It actually does a little dancing motion, basically. It goes over the same place twice doing that. Alright, enough rambling about robot vacuums and Boston Dynamics. Just waiting for the Reaper to kill us. You know, fuck all the experience laying around here. It's totally unnecessary. And there you go. There goes our revive. And we managed to finally get in a unevolved random item run again. With curse enabled, as you have seen at the beginning. So I'm glad for that. So, anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider leaving a like. If you want to see more, consider subscribing, or don't. It's still up to you as always. And I will see you around the next time. Bye bye.